I'm about to show you data that's never existed before in human history. Numbers that reveal something extraordinary happening to believers worldwide. And it all connects back to apartment 217. But let me give you the raw numbers first, then we'll analyze what they mean. Now, in the last few weeks, I've personally observed over 100 brand new YouTube channels. Totally brand new, created from scratch by people who have never made videos before, all for one purpose: to share their September 23rd, 2025 Rapture confirmations. Think about that. 100 new channels in just weeks. But here's what's really staggering. My single video on this exact topic, published just a couple days ago, in its first 3 days on my tiny little channel, generated metrics that surpassed professional YouTuber expectations. I'm talking 13,000 views with just 2,500 subscribers, 900 comments in 72 hours, 250 new subscribers added to my channel, engagement rates that are off the charts. Those kind of metrics show massive interest in Rapture confirmations. And of those 900 comments, easily 30% are detailed testimonies of similar experiences to mine, just like mine. That's 250 plus personal testimonies on one video in 3 days. Now, let's think analytically. Here's what most people don't consider. There's a massive follow-through funnel when people have a spiritual experience. Say someone receives what they believe is a divine confirmation about the rapture. What percentage do you think actually decides to share it publicly, creates a YouTube channel, films themselves, and then posts the video? It's all really scary stuff. What percentage do you think actually follows through with all of that? My estimate, I'd say maybe 10% at best, and probably way, way less. Which means if I'm seeing 100 new channels, we're probably looking at least 1,000 or more actual experiences. And that's just what's reaching YouTube. That's just what's in English. That's just what the algorithm is showing me personally. But the numbers tell us even more, actually. These confirmations are coming from everywhere. I'm talking the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, South Africa, Philippines, multiple European countries, and the list goes on. Different time zones, different cultures, different languages. No coordination mechanism whatsoever, no central organization, no authority, unlike past rapture hypes that were top-down promoted. The age demographic spans from people in their 20s all the way to an 87-year-old grandma I saw in the comments. Now, here's where the progression that I've documented comes down. It started in May. What I saw was children having dreams and visions. They were talking about September rapture specifically. And then in June, Brother Joshua came forward with his testimony about a Feast of Trumpets 2025 rapture on a podcast. July, we're building some serious momentum now. Some testimonies began appearing. And then in August, it was basically an exponential explosion. This follows a viral growth pattern. It's not manufactured hype. We're talking an organic spread. But there's something else about the timing that connects to my own personal story that I want to share now. Around 1996, I was living with my wife and first child in a crappy barracks-style apartment at Purdue University. It was called Married Student Housing. Apartment 217 is where we lived. I was there reading Thessalonians when suddenly it hit me. There would be a special group of people who wouldn't experience death. They'd be caught up to be with Jesus forever. I started dancing around that tiny little kitchen, shouting to my wife, "We won't die!" And she looked at me like I was just completely crazy. And she was probably right. But fast forward nearly 30 years, I've been a watchman for over 3 decades. I've seen every rapture prediction come and go. But I've been noticing the number 217 everywhere lately. And that's when it really clicked in my head. Acts 2:17. And it shall come to pass in the last days, says God, that I will pour out my spirit on all flesh. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your young men shall see visions. Your old men shall dream dreams. Just think about that. Think about what we're actually observing. Does this sound familiar? Sons and daughters prophesying? Young men seeing visions? Old men dreaming dreams? All flesh, every age, every nation? Ring any bells? What if this isn't just about Pentecost 2,000 years ago? What if we're witnessing the tail end fulfillment, the completion of what began in Acts 2? Okay, let's examine the possible explanations for what we're observing. I think that's the logical thing to do. Option 1, mass delusion. How do thousands of people independently experience the same delusion across different countries, languages, time zones, with no central coordination, producing detailed, personalized confirmations? I don't know. The mathematics don't support that. I don't see it. Option 2, demonic deception. But would the enemy want believers praying, watching, repenting, which is what I see? Would deception produce holy fruit like the peace and joy that we're seeing? Would Satan target the humble and meek specifically? Would he really bypass the proud and the established big ministries? That pattern doesn't fit either. So option 3, algorithmic echo chamber. But the testimonies are coming from people who just created channels. Most have never even heard of each other. The geographic spread is so wide, and the personal details are so specific, so exact to the person. This just doesn't explain the data either. So option 4, the Holy Spirit is actually moving. You're gonna have to decide that. I can say this though, in my 30 years of watching, here's what I've never seen before. This scale of independent confirmations, this demographic spread, this organic bottom-up growth, this level of personalized detail, this global reach with no coordination. The established ministries, many are dismissing this. The big channels, mostly silent. The book publishers and conference speakers, they're looking the other way. But the meek of the earth, now they're receiving confirmations at unprecedented levels, ramping up every day. On August 21st, 2025, just a few weeks ago, I was walking past the house that we call the party house in my family, a place special to us for over a decade, and parked directly in front was a car with a license plate, 923 LEG. September 23rd, LEG. Now, when you have the last section of a journey, what do you call that? The final leg. And it was during the last concert of the season that I saw this. A Journey tribute band was playing, Don't Stop Believing, on their final performance ever. They're retiring this year, 2025. That kind of level of personal detail, the timing, the symbolism, this isn't random. It looks designed, planned. So when you look at all this data objectively, the scale, the timing, the coordination, the impossibility of it all, the holy fruit, realistically, where does logic point that could be coming from? Something extraordinary is happening to believers worldwide, and it's happening now, before September 23rd, 2025. Now, I've been wrong before. September 23rd, 2017, I was certain. But I'm telling you, I have never seen data like this before. I've never witnessed this level of independent confirmation. I've never observed this kind of organic global movement. I don't think anybody can honestly say that they've seen this before. No way. The question isn't really whether something unprecedented is occurring, right? I mean, the numbers prove it is. The question is, what are you going to do with this information? Nearly 30 years ago in apartment 217, I danced around a kitchen shouting, "We won't die." Today, I'm watching Acts 2:17 unfold in real time. The data confirms what my heart believed in that tiny apartment. The 2:17 convergence isn't just about numbers and patterns. It's about the faithful God who spoke to this young believer in 1996 and is now speaking to thousands worldwide in 2025. Welcome to the final leg of our journey.